Yo guys, it's pop, let's swing, let's vibrate. How's everyone doing for this? Alright, Sunday. Drop us a comment down below how you guys are. And yeah, today guys, we're going to be giving our thoughts on the SPFL table for the 2021-2022 season. I'm also going to be doing a reaction to Ryan 118. I'm going to watch this video. We're all going to see the way he predicts the table. I'm going to pause when he shows the table, and then I'm going to see what you guys probably think on what your predictions might be. So yes, before we do get into it, comment, like and subscribe, turn on your post notifications. Also as well, get me 800 subs, that would be awesome. Let's get into it.
Well, how do we even begin this video? Last year, I can't even keep a straight face. This video last year became probably one of the biggest things that I will ever make on this channel. I sat here wearing this exact shirt in my old house, and I gave my predictions for the league season, which would have been the 10 in a row season for Celtic if they won the league. In that same video, there are clips that have circulated the internet a few times, in which I was pretty optimistic of Celtic's chances of winning the league, and pretty disregarding of Rangers' chance to win the league. And we know how that panned out, both from a personal point of view and for the actual football itself. So this year, we'll see how it goes. I think that I've learned over the past year to kind of rein in the modesty a little bit, kind of calm myself down, be a bit more level-headed about things, because that video really was something that came back to haunt me so many times over the season. So this year we'll see what's been said, and we'll see if I've learned from my mistakes. So welcome along, we're going to do the league predictions video. It's always a fun one to do. Look, as I say at the start of the kit prediction videos, or sorry, the kit ranking videos, I'm going to say at the start of this video, this is just my opinion.
I'm also as well guys, any Rangers fans that are going to watch this, this is just him giving his predictions. Do not go ahead and just show hate for it. It's just, we're all just getting our predictions done, all having a bit of banter, and that's it.
Players will be signed in January, which can change the course of the season. But it's always nice just to have a bit of a laugh and then look back. And the way I did with it last year, I looked back on all of it with a laugh. I never took myself too seriously, despite the numerous clips. You know, it was a good laugh, and we'll try and do the same this year with the league predictions. We'll see what happens, and hopefully I don't jinx anybody this time. So like and subscribe, that would be nice of you if it's your first time here. If you're a fan of any of the other 11 teams in the league, please make sure to hit that big button. And let's get into this. Let's go and look at who I think will win the Scottish Premiership and who will be the worst in the Scottish Premiership this season. Right, bottom of the league, we'll start there and we'll make our way up as we do every single year. 12th place, I am going to put Ross County. Yes, I just don't think they're good enough. Malky Mackay is now the manager. A bizarre appointment of a manager. I'm still quite ashamed at Ross County for making it Malky Mackay. It's not a good look for our league. It's not a good look for Ross County, most certainly. And I can't quite believe he's found himself in that position as manager of their club. That being said, I don't think their squad's good enough. They have lost some big players, some of their best players. Billy Mackay's away. Billy Mackay away. I don't know too much about the players they've added to the side, and ultimately last season they were really lucky to stay in the division. John Hughes came in. It was a bit of a dance. It was up and down, left and right. When he came in, and they kind of just saved themselves at the last couple of weeks. So this year I just don't think they're going to have it.
I know. I'm predicting at least 11th. I don't know.
For me at the moment, so they're bottom of the table. 11th place, I'm going to go for Dundee. Now, I'm not going to answer the question whether or not I think they'll win the playoffs or whatever. Right now, I'm just going to put them in 11th place. They're a team who I actually think could surprise us, but just going off the
yeah, considering I think the last team they were in the SPFL was the 15-16 season. I don't know. Comment down below if I'm wrong, but I don't know. I presume that was the last time they were in the SPFL. I don't know.
Decent enough stuff. It's defensively worries me about Dundee. Anytime I watched them last season, especially in the opening half of the season, they were really shaky at the back. James McPake is a manager who's had a lot of critics, but last season ultimately he answered that by winning promotion, which is not easy, especially via that playoff route. So the fact that up is a testament to him and his squad. But is it good enough to go any higher than this right now? I don't think so.
Possibly.
But look, if they can score goals, they can certainly outscore a lot of the teams down there. I'm very weary of what they'll be like at the back. So, will Charlie Adam be able to guide them higher than 11th place? We'll see. 10th place, I'm going for Motherwell, and I'm going to say it very quietly. But I'm incredibly, I say very quietly as if I'm going to whisper into the mic, but I think that Motherwell are in big trouble this season, and to be honest, I was contemplating having them maybe even bottom of the table.
Considering what? I can remember, I think they were like fourth last season.
Alexander, because I think he's a good manager and I think he can do well with Motherwell, but he's not been given the tools to do that. He's not been given the resources to do well. Last season he came in when Motherwell were in a terrible position. Stephen Robinson's time at the club was up. Alexander came in with the job of fixing them and keeping them up, and he managed to do that, and he managed to do it quite convincingly, in fact. With also surprising me, but they've lost Dick Gallagher, they've lost Alan Campbell, they lost Devante Cole. These are big players.
And David Tombo, don't forget, the man of the hour that came to Celtic.
Creativity in that Motherwell side. I don't see good attacking options in that Motherwell side, and I really think they're going to struggle with getting goals this season and being able to have that creativity beat teams. One of the big criticisms that I heard, and shout out to my mate Stevie Wheels on YouTube, you can find him. A different view, but a shout out to him. The one point he pointed out was pumping the ball up the park and hoping for the best. I've not got the quality up the end of the park to take it down and do something with it. You can't go through an entire league season in the Scottish Premiership with that tactic. That's what makes teams go down. So I'm really worried for Motherwell. We've got a week now we've got 5 days till the season begins. If they strengthen the squad, I think they could do better. But right now, I don't look at that squad and have a lot of confidence. So
I predict probably at least 11th just surviving. And Dundee, Ross County will probably be already out. Dundee will be on 12th, just surviving probably.
They want something that's creative. They don't want the ball just being thrown apart. And I know we say Motherwell are hammer throwers at times, but they just seem like a team that should be expecting better going forward, and they don't have that at the moment. So I'm going to say 10th for me. 9th place, I'm going to go for Livingston. I'm going to go for Martindale's side. The fairy tale of last season did start to kind of spin out towards the end. It wasn't going as well as what it once was when he first became manager of the club. Will that fairy tale go on into this season? I don't think it will be as straight sailing for Livy this season. A lot of squad turnover for Livingston.
Possibly.
There usually is. It's not a club that can hold on to their best players. It's ultimately a sort of stepping stone to bigger sides in both Scotland and England. So it's always difficult for a club like Livingston to really hold on to their best players, but there is a lot of players leaving the club, and there's a lot of players coming into the club. So how will David Martindale adjust to that? How will the players and the team adjust to that? Yeah, the last season they were very entertaining at points, and that run of form they went on when Martindale got the job was just unbelievable. I think for him to repeat anything like that would be, I think...
Don't even worry about that, guys. We'll skip this and we'll get back on to the thing.
That's asking far too much. I think now we've got to realise that Livingston are a side who are they're a side that should count themselves lucky to be in the Premiership, and the priority should be staying up. They've not got the financial resources to compete with the bigger teams. They've not got the reputation or the support to compete with the bigger
fever,
teams.
it's terrible.
What they do have is a lot of determination, and they've showed that over the past few years, because they're a team who you constantly put down and out. I think I've always had them near the bottom of my tables when it comes to league predictions, but I think there's a lot of determination there, and David Martindale's a kind of character who's shown that too. So that's why I've got a bit of sort of confidence in them being able to stay up once again this season, and stay up, I would say, convincingly enough for a
possibly.
Club like Livingston. I really would, and no disrespect to them, but I think that is the reality of the situation. It's a club who should be prioritising just staying in the division. We'll see how they do with that turnover, but I think they're good enough to stay up. This might surprise a lot of people how low down I have them in this, but I've got Hearts at 8th. And I think a lot of people might even go lower. I think people might share the same viewpoint as me. I don't rate them that highly. I don't think they're that great.
Relegation material. There'll be relegation material by next year, probably.
In the Premiership after shitting it with Dundee United. So we'll wait and see what it's like. This shot in the top division for him. He's obviously won the Championship 2 years in a row now with Dundee United and Hearts, but both times it's been a sort of crawl over the line. They've been so clear in terms of the squad. Like with Nielsen, with Dundee United and Hearts, he had a squad that was, you have to win the league with it, you can't. But even though they were so far ahead, they still weren't that convincing. Like, there was just no one going to catch them, but they still weren't that great. They were honestly by average, I thought. Both his Dundee United side and his Hearts side in that Championship position. So he's coming up now. He'll get to test himself once again. I don't feel like they've added much to a squad who
possibly
great in the Championship. It's a side that got packed out of the league, the Scottish Cup by Brora Rangers. for God's sake. Like, this is the kind of squad we're talking here. I don't feel like they've added much.
Yeah, considering as well that they bet,
Lost a couple of
that
big
Celtic
players
bet
too.
them as well,
Naismith,
4-3 on
Saka,
penalties,
the guys have
and they
moved
bet
on
them
as well.
3-2 in the Scottish Cup.
Hearts are going to have a great season. They don't strike me as a team I would normally. I'd normally be very worried about them. I'm not as worried about them this season. Watch them beat us on the opening day, but.
Yeah, which was pure
it'll be an
shit,
interesting
I will
one.
admit
I
that.
just don't think they'll go much higher than this season. And rounding out the bottom half, I've decided to go for Dundee United. Mickey Mellon now gone. If you remember last season, every time I done a match preview, match review, or the predictions videos in regards to Dundee United, I always ranting and raving about Mickey Mellon. I really liked him. Now, I know they had a sort of bang average season, but for being straight out of the Championship and you know, some of the football they played at points, I thought I liked him. They spoke really well, but he's now gone. Tam Courts has been given the job, his first sort of big job as a manager. Managed Kelty Hearts before, but this is his first sort of professional club. And Dundee United, he's been coaching for the last while, but a big chance for him. Will it be similar to the Callum Davidson situation? A relatively
Probably.
young
You never
manager with a sort of unknown quality there, unknown quantity. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm excited, and I just think it's a good side. They've managed to hold the beef of the side together. They've still got good players. They've added the likes of Charlie Mulgrew, who brings a lot of experience. He also has already scored a screamer for them in the cup games.
Oh yeah.
I just like the look of Dundee United, and once again they're giving me, you know, the same sort of vibes as they did last year. I think they'll have that sort of average season. They'll be
Probably.
in the 6th, 7th position.
They're a team I'd say that I wouldn't really support, but they're a team I wouldn't mind.
They let it slip away, but I think Tam Courts has got something massive to prove. I'm excited to see it, and it could really kickstart his career the same way as it sort of kickstarted Callum Davidson's in a sense. Top half then, this is the exciting part. This is where the competition gets going. 6th place, I'm going to go for St Mirren. Now, once again, if you've been watching the podcast and talking about football, if you're watching my match previews, match reviews, or anything in regards to St Mirren over the past year, I have been ranting and raving about Jim Goodwin. I've been ranting and raving about St Mirren and the direction their club is going, and I think it's only going to get better.
Possibly.
St Mirren, I really don't, but this is the year that they could get that top half finish that Tony Fitzpatrick was banging on about last year. When everybody was laughing at him, there's no chances getting top half. They nearly had it. They were this. It was a 90th minute goal that cost them, I'm sure. It was a late goal anyway that cost them that top 6 finish last season. Tony Fitzpatrick would have been kicking himself. They were also impressive in the cups, I thought. At least one of the cups anyway. Was it 2 semi-finals ago? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Possibly. You never know.
They were really impressive last year, St Mirren. And once again, they've got a side that I feel like they've kept the beef of their good players. They've got the guys there that helped them succeed so much. That might change. Maybe people will move on. I think you know the guys I'm talking about. But they've got the main beef of it there. They've of course got Brophy moving in permanently now. They've got, I think, Curtis Main coming in too, who can add a bit of depth up top. And ultimately the process, I trust the process with Jim Goodwin here. I think he's the one that's most important in this whole thing. I think if you throw in another manager there, I'm not as confident. It's Jim Goodwin that I currently buy into. And Tony Fitzpatrick's vision too has been great. He's really been good for that football club and take them forward. And it's a side that was only promoted 2 or 3 years ago, whatever it was, when they came up with Jack Ross.
Oh yeah.
It's not been that long really they've been back in this division, and we're talking about St Mirren being a top half side. I think a lot of people will be backing them to maybe get that this season, and I'm certainly one of them. Decent squad though.
It's alright, it's not the best.
Them again this season. 5th place, I am going for St Johnstone. Wow, what a season they had last year. I don't think anybody would have expected the season that St Johnstone had. Callum Davidson, manager of the year, with the cup double. That is unbelievable. Like, I can't believe they've actually done it. When you think about it, it is genuinely mad that they've done that. I don't think anybody in a million years would have expected anybody bar Celtic or Rangers to win a double anytime soon, and St Johnstone only went and done it. And they've done it the hard way as well. You know, they knocked out big teams, they knocked out the likes of Rangers, they had tough games. The finals weren't the most entertaining of watches, but they
3-2, I remember with St Mirren as well.
Alexander Clark goals and everything. Now asking them to repeat the same success this season would be, I think, a dramatic ask. I don't think they're going to go and win a double again. It would be even a tough ask for them to win trophies again. It's very rare that a club besides Celtic or Rangers go on and win trophies back-to-back seasons. That's
you never
not
know.
really the norm up here in Scotland. So to ask of that again would be difficult, but I really do think that they can push high this year. They can challenge for that European football once more, and they can get that top half finish. Callum Davidson certainly knows what he's doing, and he's got some squad for it as well. Once again, big players still there. The big players that we spoke about last season, they've managed to hold on to them, and I'm just very excited to see them once again this season. I think they've got the perfect balance between defensive stability and quality moving forward. They've got that quality in the middle too, and the success that they got really came out of nowhere. But now it's a team that you look at and go, right, okay. There was a lot of players in that St Johnstone team last season who were genuinely Player of the Year, Team of the Year candidates and such. That's how good they were. So if they can build on that, they can carry that forward into this season. I'm pretty confident in saying they'll finish top half. Fourth place, I'm going for Hibs. Yes,
that's what I would predict as well for it.
Hibs in at third for the second consecutive year. They finished third last season, of course. But
hopefully it does go Celtic, Rangers, Hibs this year. Hopefully, or Rangers, Celtic, Hibs.
Manager who we know more about. We can arguably say is better at the moment because he's had success in finishing third already with Hibs, won the league with St Mirren. He's down at Sunderland as a manager who we know quite well, Jack Ross. Compared to Stephen Glass, but the difference between Aberdeen and Hibs right now is I feel like Aberdeen have added to their squad and have added really well to their squad, and Hibs haven't really. Now I don't think there's a lot of additions that Hibs have to make. They've got a solid squad as it is. They've got really good players. They've kept once again some of the best players of last season.
Oh yeah, Kevin Nisbet as well, the Celtic were trying to get going to Hibs. And I remember when John McGinn, he left Hibs, Celtic tried to get him, but Villa bet us to it.
To maybe compete with Aberdeen for that third spot. Now both teams look really, really good. When going for that European game the other night, when they both won, they were both brilliant and they look fantastic. So it's going to be really interesting between those two sides this season. But I'm going to say Hibs in fourth for now. I think it will be really close. I don't think much will separate them. But you're looking for big performances this season from Martin Boyle, from Kevin Nisbet if he stays. Those are the guys that can really add that much to this side, that can take them that little bit further, but I'm going to go for fourth just now. Third then, that obviously means Aberdeen.
Possibly. I'd switch the two in my boot maybe. I don't know.
I've seen too much all over here. He's been over in America, of course, in recent times. But look, they've made some brilliant additions to that squad. Just to name a few, Declan Gallagher coming in. Ramirez up front, who I'm very excited to see coming from Houston Dynamo, and of course the man himself, the guy who I think is going to maybe add so much to that team that we might not have expected, Scott Brown. As a player coach role, I think he's going to do wonders for a lot of the younger guys.
Possibly.
You can't underestimate the influence of a player like Scott Brown and the presence of a player like Scott Brown. He's the captain of Aberdeen now. He's walked right in and took that armband, and no wonder, because he's the best captain this country's seen in recent footballing years. So I'm really excited to see what Aberdeen will provide us with this season. I think they will be entertaining. I mean, the result midweek says it all, and I'm looking forward to see what Brown does. But as I said, the reason I think I'm opting for them and at third at the moment is because they've added a bit more than Hibs. Now it's going to be fascinating to see the sort of change in style of football, because I thought McInnes' stuff was getting really, really boring towards the end of his time at Aberdeen last season. So it'll be weird to see if they can change that so quickly. Stephen Glass, of course, had a little bit of time already. He's had the kind of ending to last season, but it truly starts now for him. I'm going to go for fourth. So in second place then, I am going to tell you tomorrow. Oh, I'm scumbagged. Oh, I'm losing subscribers over this. Listen, this video's already been running for 20 minutes. The discussion over who I think will win the league title is going to take so long, because I've got a lot of talking to do. There's a lot of comparing both sides, and ultimately from a Celtic fan point of view, we've got to sit down and be realistic about a lot of things. So tomorrow we're going to have a guest on the channel. We're going to have a Rangers fan on as well, and we're going to talk about it really in depth as to who we think will win the league, or well, who I think will win the league, and I think it's pretty obvious who they'll think will win the league, but who I think will win the league, for what reasons. That's going to be a massive discussion, and we'll save that for tomorrow so that this video isn't on about 40 minutes. I've left you on the cliffhanger. I'm going to get pelters for this, but it's the first ever time in 5 years I've done anything like this. I'm
going to bring it back as well to the table, actually. I'm going to pause it here. Now, I want you guys to comment down below as well, as I say, how do you predict the table will go? Because my prediction, well, continuing on to next season, I'm going Celtic, Rangers, Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen, St Johnstone, Dundee United, Motherwell, Dundee, Ross County, and then Livingston. If you guys want to comment down below what you guys think, then let me know. I know I did say as well I would do the Premier League as well and La Liga, but I feel like that would just take too long, so I'm gonna do one in the SPFL. I'm gonna maybe see if you guys can try and either, I don't know, just comment down below your predictions for the Premier League and the SPFL and as well La Liga. Just comment down below your predictions, what you think the tables will be for that. And thank you very much, guys, and peace.